Welcome to Still Talks. As you can see, we're in a special environment for a special message, and it kind of connects to the message that we had last time. We're talking about one of the greatest spiritual handicaps in a spiritual journey, and that is doubt. It's something that we all face, so I thought that we would kind of take a different approach to it today by actually talking about the greatest spiritual figure ever, which would be Jesus Christ. We're actually going back to the conception of Christ to prove a point. So when we break down the conception of Christ, the way I believe it is that both the seed and the egg came from God, and that Mary was just the incubator, the carrier of Christ. And that means that all of Christ's DNA basically came directly from God. And that's one reason why he's called the second Adam, because he descended directly from God. And that's the reason he was able to live a completely sinless life, because his bond was so strong with God. And this bond is something I want to talk about. It's one of my concentrations. Before Christ was tried and crucified, he was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was praying. And he even admitted to his disciples that his soul was exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. And he prayed to God and he said, God, if it be your will to let this burden of saving the world pass from me, if you would let it. My point is this: why would Christ, who had this incredibly powerful bond with God, his Father, doubt that he wouldn't have the strength to carry on with the crucifixion, when Christ knew the plan from the very beginning, was one of the designers of the grand plan from the very beginning? That's how powerful doubt is. It eats away at our foundations until it basically collapses. Now, I realize that this doesn't sound very encouraging, and that's because I haven't found, in all my searching, a permanent solution to doubt. As far as I know, there isn't one. Being human means doubting. However, there is some hope. In Psalm 22, David proclaims, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me and from the words of my groaning?" But in the very next set of verses, he says, "But you are holy, enthroned in the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in you. They trusted and you delivered them. They cried to you and were delivered. They trusted in you and were not ashamed." The opposite, and therefore the enemy of doubt, isn't necessarily faith, it's trust. We're going to go through incredibly difficult times, and it's going to seem like the light of God isn't even visible in the darkness of doubt. You're going to go through trials, and sometimes it's going to seem impossible. The point, though, however, is to trust in the strength of God. Just like Christ had to trust in God, that Christ would go to the cross, that he would be crucified, that he would go into the tomb, but he would rise again in 3 days. And that was God's promise to Christ. If we can learn to believe in that and to hold on to that, then these moments that we're stuck in the valley, we'll be able to overcome them. So that's my short spiel on doubt. It's a huge enemy, but we have an even bigger God. So rely on him. This week's song that I would like you to meditate on is Oceans, Where Feet May Fail by Hillsong United. I hope you'll listen to it, and I'll hope you'll let those words really encourage you. Until next time, see ya.